Hello there, it's Don Criquito with another installment of Hypermodality. In this one, I go over the pros and cons of Hypermode. As you can see, people really love this build. I mean, look at them all. They're all pointing at her going, look at this chick. She's really got something going on here. I agree. As you can see, I am highly skilled. Here I demonstrate how to buff at the wrong time. And here I demonstrate how not to trade. But it's better than just dying. And here I demonstrate how to actually do this correctly. Sort of. Get myself a phantom, go after the host. Finish the host. Get betrayed by the phantom like I normally do. And then also get the phantom. It either works out really well or really bad. But how do we get buffed up to the point where we can do 1637 damage with a Saint's Talisman? Well, it takes a little bit of preparation, and unfortunately as an invasion build that can be dangerous. First we need to get ourselves down to critical health in a very counterintuitive step. At 10 vigor, it only takes 2 stabs as long as your bleed's less than 199. I use Ragged Mask and Thorns armor and nothing else. You get 199. Then you gotta put Tears on. You can do that anytime. Then Sacred Oath fairly close to when you fight. And then finally I would drink an Ashen Estus regardless of what level of FP you're at, and eat a grass. You're going to use a lot, and I mean a lot, of stamina with both your casts, and honestly, Sacred Oath and the other one are the same. Tears and Sacred Oath both cost a ton. It's important always to use the best talisman for the job. In this case, the Saint's Talisman was overkill, but I can poise through it fine, so I might as well use it, just in case he has more HP. A lot of times you'll trade 1 life for a phantom. That is unfortunate, but I consider it kind of a win. I mean, in general, you're going to be wasting the host's time here. They're going to have to go back and summon more. Not much of a waste in this case. He's already summoning phantoms. In this case, though, we can really set him back. Wasting their time is almost as good as beating him. This isn't necessarily a build you want to do if you're going to win all the time. That's not really the intention. It is fun, though. In this case, we want to use the regular talisman, as the Saint's Talisman will definitely not poise through that. And it was perfect, but I decided to gesture too early, which was dumb. It was an honor to be killed by a dragon, though. You don't see a whole lot. At range, you can drop even a host at 2 hits. And as I demonstrated earlier, you can drop a phantom in 1. Also, your melee is not too shabby. So feel free to use it, if they're spamming dodge. Usually 4 or 5 hits will drop about any host. 2 or 3 will take out a phantom. Of course, it's always better, as a hypercleric, to have your enemy unaware of you. Downside is usually can't one-shot hosts at range, but phantoms and or invaders? Absolutely. Case in point. That was a mage, but you can actually kill tougher characters too. If this person had managed to stay up there, I would have had no recourse at all. They could have dodged all day. But they didn't. Should be noted that there's actually a bit of hit stun involved with this cast. I didn't know that at this time, so I had to trade. As you can see, after you do a trade, if you're not stunned out, you get a free hit. It can actually combo twice. As a result, I kill Smo instead of getting owned by this boss duo. It's a very short window, though. And sometimes lag ensures it doesn't happen at all. Also, a lot of times lag, if the hit is delayed at all, you will not get that second hit off. it will only count the first. Another trick is, if phantoms are around you trying to hit you and you land a hit and they're stunned, you can roll into them to kill them instantly if you pop their tears. Most of the time that won't be necessary, and you can sometimes even hit through tears with the first hit. I never recommend people wear untrue dark rings. I have a hard time telling that they're on my side. But thankfully, I still managed to make poor Havel cry. With practice, you can too. Rest assured, it took a lot of practice to actually get any success with this. One-shotting blues is even more worth it, because you know they waited a really long time to get here. You can manage quite nicely in a 2 versus 2, because all you need is a second of unawareness, and bam, no Concord for you either. And again, if you're not having much success with the lightning, you hit pretty hard as well. I personally think the lightning should get off a little bit faster, but that's just me. Now if you go into a fight club, you have a few options. You can wreck everything. You can go after the host. I think the host wanted his homies to help him, but he just kind of let me be. Even got some nice applause afterwards. Thanks, buddy. Oh, see. Now that was uncalled for. You don't necessarily do great, but when you do win, it looks spectacular. And you'd be amazed how many people will trade with this. Not really a good idea. If they won't trade, though, it's kind of hard to beat them. That sets you with the misfortunate task of defeating them in melee. Does not work out terribly well. But sometimes they'll miss a dodge up close, and you'll just double hit them to death. You can also use your powers for good. Case in point. I got the 2 hit off the stun lock here. It should also be noted that as I was on an incline, you're not guaranteed to get the double hit on the incline, which is why I didn't just kill him outright. And here I am melting the dancer's HP. If you can keep him off of you, you can wreck him in a matter of seconds. So this build's actually pretty good for PvE too. Also, it's good for not potentially good reasons. You know, like hyper ganking. One-shotting everyone really results in some nice salt mail. You are, however, incredibly squishy. Kind of hard with all kinds of other people helping you, though. And now to end this, some nice gratuitous one-shots. The around the corner trick is always fun. Start as you walk around, and see if they try to hit you. Some hard counters to this build include Avalons, anything that hits multi, double swords, washing poles, fast weapons in general, reactive players, throwing knives, basically anything that can hit you. Thanks for watching.